Hello everybody and happy Monday. My name is Nolan from Calvary. This week we are talking about The Gifts of Imperfection, a book by Brené Brown. And I get to start off the week with authenticity. So why not start with a vulnerable confession? I'm terrified of this. This what? Speaking, creating a message, writing, being in front of a camera and Ryan, wondering if I make sense or if I say the right thing or understand theology correctly. I'm scared to be wrong, to look or sound like a fool. I'm anxious that I'll say too little and not support the story or an intended point enough, but also that I'll say too much and be vulnerable to judgment. And most of all, I'm scared that I'll have a booger hanging from my nose or broccoli in my teeth. Okay, that's not quite the scariest, but you never know. And this goes beyond speaking. I think at the heart of it all, we struggle with being authentic every once in a while. We all do. We naturally want to be liked. We want to be loved. We want to be good enough. And so it's hard to be with people and be okay with all of our scars and brokenness. Brené describes authenticity like this. Authenticity is a collection of choices that we have to make every day. It's about the choice to show up and be real, the choice to be honest, the choice to let our true selves be seen. And that is hard because I have something like a love-hate relationship with this true self of mine. I want people to see the me that I love and hide the parts of me that I'm not as sure about. And it certainly doesn't help that we live in this world that is constantly criticizing all of us to make money. So many things we believe today are effects built in by marketing over the years. We're secretly, and sometimes not so secretly, told through ads and different products that we aren't good enough without these clothes, or being this thin, or having this car, or this much makeup. It's so crazy. Digital marketing experts estimate that most Americans are exposed to between 4,000 and 10,000 advertisements a day. I'm not saying you see or hear something once and it makes us feel not good enough, but 4,000 to 10,000 a day for most of our lives, it's easy to see we might start to have this subconscious idea that we are not enough. And that mentally starts to weave its way into so many areas of our lives and materializes in many different ways for each and every one of us. And it's not just advertisements either. I can remember saying something to a group of kids when I was young, or giving the wrong answer to my teacher in front of everyone, or missing the game-winning shot in a game causing us to lose a game or championship, or asking someone out and being turned down. I remember the story when I was young. I went to the driving range with my cousin, and it was the first time I had even held or swung a golf club. And I think I missed a little bit and maybe hit the ground a bit. And my cousin said I should never swing a golf club again, and I haven't. For all of us, we have failures or mistakes or even just misunderstandings that happen, and it can change our lives forever. It's funny, when our kids mess up, we often say, well, nobody's perfect. But when we mess up, we beat ourselves up. We feel worthless and embarrassed. So here we are. It might feel like a hopeless situation. I certainly don't have the perfect answer. I'm human and I'm working through these things every single day. At work, as a dad, as a husband, so many areas. All of these places, I want to be perfect. I want to be accepted. And I don't want to mess up. It's a lot of pressure. There's a story in the book of Matthew in chapter 4, and Jesus is in the desert. He's been fasting for 40 days. So first of all, he's hot and he's hangry. Get this guy a Snickers bar. The devil in the story is tempting Jesus, and it goes like this. The tempter came to him and said, "If you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread." Jesus answered, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." Then the devil took him to the holy city and had him stand on the highest point of the temple. "If you are the Son of God," he said, "throw yourself down, for it is written, he will command his angels concerning you, and they will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." Jesus answered him, "It is also written, 'Do not put the Lord your God to the test.'" Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. "All this I will give to you," he said, "if you will bow down and worship me." Jesus said to him, "Away from me, Satan, for it is written, 'Worship the Lord your God and serve him only.'" Then the devil left him, and the angels came and attended to him. So this is kind of an odd story, and maybe it isn't a perfect story to describe how we might fail to be authentic. Obviously, Jesus doesn't want to fit in with the devil in the story, but what I love about the story is how Jesus acts, his presence, his stance. The Bible calls the devil the tempter. When I'm being tempted, authenticity is not my go-to. I'd do one of two things if I were Jesus. I'd shrink into the temptation. I'm not good enough. I'd fall into line. I'd go against what I want or who I want to be. Or I'd pretend to be more than I am, bigger. I'd say something more like, "Oh yeah, I could turn the bread into steak if I wanted to," and be bigger and better and try and show him up. But Jesus, this Jesus guy, is something else. He aligns with his true, authentic self. Jesus knows who he is in the image of God. He has God in him and through him. And if I could glean anything from this story, it would be a reminder that we are also created in the image of the very same God. We don't have to be bigger or smaller. We don't have to shrink because of our identity in God. I've said this before in the Daily Dose. I don't have all the answers. Heck, I don't have any answers. But I keep showing up day after day, doing the best that I can, fighting through life just like you. We are human and we are on this journey. And best of all, we get to do it together. I'll end with a song. This is a song about a romantic relationship. It's a song that is special to my wife, Britta, and I, as being vulnerable in any relationship, let alone a forever relationship, is hard. It's called Arms. And it's about the battle it can be to be vulnerable. Vulnerable with friends, with strangers, with God, and in this case, in a romantic relationship. We believe that it's easier not to be real, to spare them the truth, the real us. It's hard to tear down the walls that we build to protect ourselves. If we really let them in, we could be hurt, or we could hurt them. But in a true relationship, be it friend, stranger, lover, God, to be seen, truly seen, and loved is the best thing in the world. And I believe that when we are authentic, it gives others permission to be authentic with us, which allows us to have deeper, more vulnerable relationships. Some of the lyrics are, "I never thought you would be the one to hold my heart, but you came around and you knocked me off the ground from the start. I can't decide if I'll let you save my life or if I'll drown. The world is coming down on me and I can't find a reason to be loved. I never want to leave you, but I can't make you bleed if I'm alone. I hope that you see right through my walls. I hope that you catch me because I'm already falling. I'll never let a love get so close. You put your arms around me and I'm home." Friends, may your lives be constantly embraced by the arms of our ever-loving God who loves you just as you are. Thank you so much for joining us. If you watch this on Facebook, we would love if you would share it. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching on cable access television, invite some friends or family to join with you. Thank you so much. God bless.
Give his only son. shoulders. Ashamed, I hear my mocking voice call out among the scoffers. It was my sin that held him there until it was accomplished. His dying breath has taught me life. I know that it is finished.
I will not boast in anything, no gifts, no power, no wisdom, but I will boast in Jesus Christ, his death and resurrection. Why should I gain from his reward? I cannot give an answer, but this I know with all my heart. His wounds have paid my ransom. Why should I gain from his reward? I cannot give an answer, but this I know with all my heart. His wounds have paid my